You know what's strange? At 25, you could ignore your body for months and somehow bounce back, skip sleep, eat whatever was convenient, work long hours, and still feel relatively fine. But somewhere in your 40s, things start changing. You gain weight without changing your diet. Your energy isn't what it used to be. A small injury takes weeks instead of days to heal. You wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. And many men assume that's just aging. But often, it's not. It's your body sending messages. The problem is that most serious health conditions don't arrive like a burglar kicking down the door. They arrive quietly. A little fatigue here, a little weight gain there, a slightly higher blood pressure reading, a few extra trips to the bathroom at night. Nothing dramatic, until one day it is. Today we're talking about 7 diseases men become significantly more vulnerable to after 40. Not to scare you, not to turn you into a hypochondriac, but because understanding them early can dramatically improve the quality of the years ahead. Because at the second prime, we believe aging is inevitable. Decline is not. Disease number 1, heart disease. Let's start with the big one. The disease responsible for more male deaths than almost anything else, heart disease. Now here's what catches many men off guard. Heart disease often doesn't start with chest pain. Many men experience subtle warning signs years earlier. Fatigue, shortness of breath climbing stairs, reduced exercise capacity, poor recovery, sometimes even erectile dysfunction. And that's where things get interesting. The blood vessels supplying the heart aren't the only blood vessels affected. Often the body's smaller arteries show signs of trouble first. A friend of mine once described it perfectly. He said, "I didn't feel sick. I just didn't feel like myself." That sentence describes countless men. The danger is that we normalize it. We blame age, stress, work, the kids, the economy, anything except our health. Prevention. Simple doesn't mean easy. Walk daily. Lift weights 2 to 3 times per week. Prioritize sleep. Maintain a healthy waistline. Know your blood pressure. Know your cholesterol numbers. Know your family history. Many men spend more time researching a new television than understanding their cardiovascular risk. And yet one affects a weekend. The other affects the rest of your life. Disease number 2, type 2 diabetes. Mike was 48. Busy job, 2 teenagers, always tired, always hungry, always thirsty. He figured it was just life. Then a routine blood test revealed type 2 diabetes. His reaction? I didn't see that coming. The surprising truth is that most people don't, because diabetes develops gradually. Think of insulin as a key. Its job is to unlock cells and allow sugar to enter. Over time, your cells can become less responsive. Your body compensates. Your pancreas works harder and harder, until eventually it can't keep up. Years can pass before obvious symptoms appear. Most men focus on the weight gain, but the real problem is what may be happening underneath. Damage to blood vessels, kidneys, eyes, nerves, heart. Prevention. Lose excess body fat if needed. Build muscle. Resistance training improves how your body handles blood sugar. Eat more whole foods. Reduce ultra-processed foods. Move after meals. Even a 10-minute walk can help. Small habits repeated consistently beat dramatic health kicks every time.
Disease number 3, high blood pressure. This one is called the silent killer for a reason, because most men feel absolutely nothing. No pain, no warning, no obvious symptoms. Meanwhile, pressure is quietly damaging blood vessels throughout the body. It's a bit like driving with a tire that's slowly losing air. Everything seems fine until it isn't. Many men discover high blood pressure during a routine examination, and some discover it after a stroke or heart event. That's why regular screening matters, not because you're sick, because you're responsible. One of the biggest psychological traps men fall into is assuming that feeling okay means being healthy. Those are not the same thing. Prevention. Maintain healthy body weight, exercise regularly, reduce excess sodium, manage stress, limit excessive alcohol, monitor blood pressure regularly. Know your numbers, because what gets measured gets managed. If this video is helping you understand your health a little better, hit the like button. Not for the algorithm, just so more men who need this conversation actually find it. Disease number 4, prostate problems. Let's talk about something many men avoid discussing: the prostate.
a gland most men never think about until it starts demanding attention. Frequent urination, getting up multiple times at night, weak urine flow, difficulty emptying the bladder. These become increasingly common with age. Now, not every prostate issue is cancer. In fact, many aren't. But changes should never be ignored. And here's the psychological part. Many men delay seeking help because they don't want bad news. Ironically, that delay often creates the very outcome they're trying to avoid. Prevention. Attend recommended screenings. Discuss family history with your healthcare provider. Stay physically active. Maintain healthy body weight. Don't ignore persistent urinary symptoms. Early attention often means better outcomes.
Disease number 5, sleep apnea. Have you ever met a man who proudly says, "I only sleep 5 hours a night," as if it's a badge of honor? The body usually disagrees. Sleep apnea affects millions of men. Many don't know they have it. The signs? Loud snoring, morning headaches, daytime fatigue, brain fog, falling asleep easily during quiet moments. The scary part is that poor sleep affects almost everything: blood pressure, weight, hormones, mood, heart health, memory. And that's where things get interesting. Sometimes the problem isn't lack of effort, it's lack of recovery. Prevention. Maintain healthy weight. Limit alcohol before bed.
Sleep on your side when appropriate. Seek evaluation if symptoms persist, because quality sleep is not a luxury, it's biological maintenance. Disease number 6, osteoporosis and muscle loss. When people hear osteoporosis, they often think about women, but men are affected too. And muscle loss may be an even bigger issue. After 40, muscle mass naturally declines, and unless you actively fight for it, the process accelerates. The goal isn't looking like a fitness model, it's remaining capable, carrying luggage, playing with grandchildren, preventing falls, maintaining independence. Independence is one of the greatest forms of wealth. Many studies suggest muscle strength is strongly associated with healthy aging. Prevention, resistance training, protein-rich nutrition, vitamin D when appropriate, regular movement. Strength isn't vanity. Strength is insurance for your future.
Disease number 7, depression and chronic loneliness. This one rarely appears on lists like these, and maybe it should. Many men don't break down. They become quieter, they withdraw, they stop calling friends, they bury stress beneath responsibility. The kids grow up, careers plateau, parents age, friends drift away. And suddenly, a man finds himself surrounded by people, yet feeling profoundly alone. Research increasingly suggests loneliness affects physical health as well as emotional well-being. The world often notices a man's usefulness before it notices his humanity. But health is more than blood tests and body fat percentages. It's connection, purpose, belonging. Prevention. Stay socially connected. Maintain friendships. Join groups. Volunteer. Talk honestly with someone you trust. Seek professional help when needed. Real strength includes asking for support. If you're one of those men trying to make the second half of life healthier than the first, consider subscribing to the Second Prime. That's exactly why this channel exists. Not to chase youth, but to help men stay strong, capable, and independent for as long as possible.
So let me leave you with a thought. Most of these diseases don't appear overnight. They develop quietly. One choice at a time, one habit at a time, one ignored symptom at a time. But the opposite is also true. Health is built quietly. One walk, one workout, one good night's sleep, one doctor's appointment, one healthier meal, one conversation. The goal isn't to become obsessed with your health. The goal is to protect the life you've worked so hard to build. Because a man can spend decades providing for everyone else and still forget to care for the one person making it all possible, himself. 10 years from now, your future self won't care how busy you were. He'll care whether you protected his strength, his energy, his independence, his time. Because aging isn't the real challenge. Neglect is. And while none of us can stop the clock, we can absolutely influence how we travel through time. Strength, energy, clarity, capability, those aren't gifts, they're investments. Welcome to your Second Prime. And remember, the best measure of aging isn't how many birthdays you've had. It's how much life remains in your years.